Hello, planet Earth.
Jill? 730.
Welcome to my YouTube channel. We're at IDK, my BFF Jill 730. I'm Preston L. Young, wishing you warm salutations and congratulations as always. You've made your way to the Buffyngton Post.
You are invited!
Today it's time for another Buffyngton Post recap and review, and so I'd like to invite you all to reach into your super gay Buffy bag and pull out your preferred copy of Buffy the Vampire Slayer Season 11, Issue number 10. It's Crimes Against Nature. We of course have two covers this month. One, I'm guessing this one's by Steve Morris. It looks very Steve Morris-y, but don't let me lie to you. Yes, it's by Steve Morris, and I'm very pleased with it. This is the one that had me speculating that perhaps Zane Pharmaceuticals was behind this whole crazy magical mess because of the, like, robot-y animals that are in, like, weird bubbles, and they look to have been, you know, messed with by science, so I like it. But my heart absolutely sank when I saw the variant cover because, hello, Megan Levins is back, and if you know anything about my coverage of Season 10, I am not a huge fan of Megan Levins' art, which I kind of grew to just become accustomed to in Season 10, but I have new reasons not to like it, and it made me go immediately. So, whatever. But before we get into this...
Previously on Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
The season started out with this dragon that came into San Francisco. It brought a tsunami with it, and then there was this whole catastrophe because of the tsunami. Thousands of people died, millions of people were displaced from their homes, and it was just a big shit show. The government decided that they knew what they could do, and they rounded everybody up and put them in these safe zones that are not internment camps. While in the safe zone, Buffy, Willow, and Spike discovered that there was this magical scientific machine that was engineered to basically suck the magic out of individuals, and if they agreed to have the magic sucked out of them, then they could leave the safe zone, which is what Buffy and Willow did. The problem, however, is that not every magical being can exist without magic, such as magical creatures whose physiology won't work without magic, and you've also got the vampires who, if you take the magic away from them, they will kind of cease to exist, as well as Dawn, who is literally just made up of magic. So, with the help of Faith, they actually busted Spike and everybody else out of the not-in-internment camps, and they tried to investigate what exactly was going on. The government actually manufactured a false massacre implicating all of these vampires in killing like an entire town's worth of people. And where last we left our Scoobies, Buffy, Willow, Faith, and Spike were going back to San Francisco to get to the bottom of this thing called the Pandora Project, which seems to be the root of all of this mess.
That's pretty much what you need to know, and so without further ado, let's jump into Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Season 11, Issue number 10. It's Crimes Against Nature. And we're gonna ring the bell every time things are not cool. Here we go.
Shall we begin?
So our issue opens up with Buffy, Spike, Willow, and Faith infiltrating this research facility known as the Pandora Project after 3 days of having staked it out, and they're actually infiltrating it via like an underwater passage. Now naturally, as soon as they get in, they're attacked by a monster, but the crazy thing is this monster is just an enormous octopus cyborg monster. Not cool. After they handle the octopus, they move further into the facility and they find that this octopus is not the only creature that's being experimented on in very weird ways. There are dozens of different animals in there that have like robot parts, and they've been spliced together with like magic and stuff, and Willow says, "This is wrong," and Faith says, "Yeah, you're telling me, this stuff's weird," and Willow says, "No, this is against nature. This is not how things work. Like, with monsters and demons, sure, you put magic in them and that's how they live, but this is just taking Frankenstein's monster to a whole new level." Not cool. So there's all this different stuff in there, and they start talking about how they are using magic and technology to weaponize even these animals, and how far is that going to go? And then whoop-de-doo, this cyborg shows up out of nowhere and starts attacking them. Not cool. Buffy doesn't want to kill this cyborg guy that's totally attacking them, but the fact of the matter is, he's the bad guy, and so they decide to at least rip off the bionic parts so that they can get past him. After they rip out this cyborg guy's bionic eye, he is no longer under the control of this computer system, and he tells us that he actually volunteered for this because he had lost his arms and legs in combat. He's actually a corporal in the army. And he volunteered for this because he wanted them to put him back together so that he could be useful, but he's being controlled against his will, and he doesn't want to live like this anymore, and he asks for them to kill him. Not cool. Buffy, of course, can't do this, and so Spike kills this guy. Willow collects all of the incriminating information off of the servers, and they leave after Spike lets all of the animals free. Back in the hotel room, there's more news about more escapees from the safe zones causing more trouble, and it's not all, fake news. Like, some of these incidents are real because there's a state of panic out there between the humans and the supernatural beings. Willow digs through the info and finds out that there are a few key players that are working within this Pandora Project situation, one of them, of course, being Ophelia Reyes, and Spike comes along to say that Dowling has given him some information that leads them to believe that actually the Vice President of the United States is behind this. Not cool. The Vice President is coming to San Francisco right after they caused all the hullabaloo in the Pandora Project, and so this looks super suspect, and they decide to actually get information out of the Vice President, but the only way they can do that is if they leave the Vice President there, and so Willow actually casts a spell to glamour Xander to look like the Vice President for a time. So, after they get the Vice President away from his security team, they start interrogating him after Willow puts a truth spell on him, and he immediately wants to start talking about Area 51, and Faith is excited about that. Buffy says, let's put a pin in that, tell me everything you know about the Pandora Project. So Xander, as the Vice President, actually has to go and give an interview that had already been lined up with, the Financial Times, and he's kind of not trying to say anything, but he's also saying a lot of nothing, a lot of something, and it's really funny. Turns out they really can't get much more information out of the Vice President about the Pandora Project because somebody had already put a spell on him that would take Willow days to unravel that basically keeps him from spilling the beans on what's really going on. But they do find out that these satellite power sucker machines are going to start going out tomorrow, and basically they're going to start sucking up all of the magic from everyone in the United States of America. Not cool. We get some more funny back and forth with Xander being interviewed by the reporter lady, but then Willow switches back the Vice President and Xander, and she erases his memory. At this point, Buffy is not taking any chances. She wants Spike and Dawn out of the country, but Dawn says, look dude, if they're gonna do this here, it won't be long until it's global, and then we won't be safe anywhere. It's smarter for us to stick together, work out a plan, and fight together. And there's no way that they can guarantee anybody's safety. There's no way that they could be able to hide people from this power-sucking machine because magic is not radiation, and so they basically got one chance to do this right, and they need to get their shit together and do it right. And that's where we end the issue. Let's start with the art. Megan Levins was here for, I don't know, maybe a third of season 10, and I wasn't a big fan, and it took me a long time to kind of get used to the Megan Levins art style. And coming in, it's fine, you see all the different characters and you're used to seeing them in the Megan Levins style, but Faith, I don't think Faith has ever looked bad. Some artists are better at capturing her than others, but nobody has ever really made Faith look bad until Megan Levins. Megan Levins' Faith looks terrible. She looks monstrous. I don't understand. It's not cool, not cool, not cool, Megan Levins. I don't know who goes around making Faith look bad. The whole thing is she's hot and she's got cleavage. And here she's neither. Well, I guess she does have a little bit of cleavage toward the end, but like, come on, Faith is hot. She has cleavage. And the whole, I get it, you know, we've always wanted to see Buffy go on like an underwater adventure, but their whole like scuba gear situation is really distracting throughout the whole like first third of the issue. So, you know, it's kind of forgivable. But anyway, like, the emotions in this, with the cyborg guy who just wanted to be a good soldier and then he was taken over, and, you know, they talk a lot about the initiative here, about how, you know, the government trying to mess with magic and science to create super soldiers doesn't fucking work out very well. And so, it's all very, like, what are you doing? Like, crimes against nature. And they're not doing this to people who can volunteer and say, I want this done to me. And they're not doing it to soldiers who, you know, owe their lives to the U.S. military and to, like, the United States of America in general. They're doing it to defenseless animals. And I get it, like, animal testing is a thing, but, like, animal testing, a lot of people don't like it. And here, it's just, it's super crazy the way that they're doing these things. When we see all these creatures in the facility, it's fucked up. And I don't know where all of this is coming from, but again, like, my money is still kind of on Zane Pharmaceuticals. It seems like something that they would be interested in. And of course, we know that last season of the Buffyverse, they were trying to solve the problem of Magic Town. If they could suck out all the magic from Magic Town, that would solve the problem pretty much. I mean, sure, there would be a lot of people dead, but you wouldn't have all the magical transformees. And so, it's very crazy. Willow doesn't get a lot to do here, but I do like that Willow's very much with the magic and with the science, and that was a big complaint of mine from season 10, was that Willow hasn't done what these guys are doing in a good way. Like, she needs to really find a way to meld magic and science together so that she can, you know, use her two strongest fronts in one. But that's kind of beside the point. I love the stuff with Xander as the vice president. Xander, they just have not really been doing much with Xander all season, and here he gets to really shine. He gets to pose as the vice president. It's so much fun. And Dawn also, they haven't had much to do with her, but I like that Dawn is very gung-ho about staying with her sister, staying with her family, and making sure that not only they, but everyone are okay. Like, she's just such a nice girl. Like, she's so good at being a nice person. I just can't get over it. She's Dawn, and I know a lot of people hate Dawn, but comic book Dawn is rock'em sock'em. Go Dawn. I like that Buffy is so conflicted about the fight with the cyborg, and that she understands that he does want to die and he shouldn't have to live on like this, but she even says, like, I'm not a murderer, and Faith says, speak for yourself, dude. And I like that Spike had to do this for this man, and it happens off page, but it really does kind of hurt to know that our Scoobies are now having to mercy kill, which is nothing that Faith is new to, because she did that way back in, like, issue number 4 of Angel and Faith season 9, but it really does bring that kind of darkness into Buffy's world, and Buffy really has been dealing with a lot of things, and I really want to know what the deal is with the vice president, because, you know, the fake fucking news, and everybody's really afraid of Trump, but a lot more people are afraid of Pence because of what he stands for, and that really, oh man, hold on. That really did strike me in this issue, is that as many problems as people have with Trump, which are, you know, whatever, your own, Pence is scarier to the rest of us, because if something should happen to Trump, then this guy who believes in gay conversion therapy could send us all off into fucking gay conversion camps. And so I like the idea of them pulling in the vice president a little bit, because of course we have been doing this whole political commentary and getting with the thing, and it's all political and SJW, and I guess what Buffy has really become is kind of a Slayer Justice Warrior, and so I do like that angle of bringing it back, and it's not being the president and actually being the vice president, and I like the idea that the vice president is being, like, mind controlled. He can't actually spill the beans because there's a block in his mind, like Jean Grey style. It's really interesting. And so this issue, it wasn't my favorite of the season, but I do like that we are getting to the bottom of this whole Shenlong Dragon situation, which again, nobody knows about except for these Pandora Project people. And my money is not off of Zane Pharmaceuticals. I'm sure that it won't be Zane Pharmaceuticals because that would be too fucking logical. But I really hope that this all pays off. We only have 2 issues left in the season. I don't know if we're getting a season 12 rather. I'm sure we will because the season has been very good, and the reception for the season has been kind of mixed. But I feel like the writing overall has been very good, and the writing here is fine. The voices are all captured pretty well. You've got Chris's Cage. He knows how to write for Faith, which is great. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of the art. I do hope that Megan Levins skips town for the next issue. It's nothing personal. I just don't like it. Some things were a bit silly, but for the most part, the stakes are getting higher, and the emotional stakes, the plot stakes, the character stakes, having Xander and Dawn back in, it's really nice. Now, the thing is with Giles, we were supposed to get this whole other book about Giles being in school, and where's Giles? Like, where's Billy the Vampire Slayer? Where's Satsu? Where are all of these people? Like, what? Are these really the only reinforcements that we have, or like our Scoobies? I feel like we will have a big reunion for the finale of season 11. I feel like people are just going to come out of the woodwork from everywhere. I need to see Nadira. I need to see Sophronia and Lavinia. I need to see Satsu. I need to see Kennedy. I need to see Riley and Sam come back. We really don't know what happened to them. I hope that they do return. I just really want for our Scoobies not to be the only ones fighting for what's right. That's what I really want to see out of the last 2 issues of this season, and I'm not entirely sure that we're going to get it. But I would really love a big family reunion for our final issue to say, we're not alone. We've got all of these people standing with us. But yeah, this issue, it was fun. It's not my favorite, but it was fun. All the stuff with Xander as the vice president was really funny. The stuff with Faith talking to the vice president about Area 51 was really funny. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how they're gonna wrap all of this up in the next 2 issues, because it's a big thing that they've done this year with trying to tackle politics, and for the most part I feel like they've done a pretty good job with it, and it's not like these sentiments don't exist in our real world, and so for Buffy to be handling them, and to be handling them pretty well, it's hats off to you, Buffy writers. But yeah, I'm still kind of miffed. I think Giles needs to come out of the woodwork before we end the season. Joss, he had to go and work on the Justice League movie, which is all well and good. I get it, you're busy, Joss, but where's Giles? He's a part of the team, and he's not a part of the team right now. So, anyway, Planet Earth, let me know what you thought of Buffy the Vampire Slayer Season 11, Issue number 10, Crimes Against Nature, in the comment section down below. I'm actually working on my 3-year video, and so I need to do Game of Thrones video for the Season 7 finale next, and then I'm going to be working more on my 3-year video, and I'll do Angel next week. I haven't actually even read Angel, so please no spoilers for Angel Season 11, Issue number 8, I think we're on. I don't know. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've got for you guys today. I hope you're having a great 2017 so far, everybody. You can come right back here to the Buffyngton Post anytime for Buffy the Vampire Slayer reviews, Angel and Faith reviews, Angel and Illyria cruising through time reviews, Buffyverse discussions on the other Slayers, Game of Thrones reviews, and more. Have yourself a great day today, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
To the center of the earth again, the place with its hot love, it hurts to breathe in, and the watershed you balance on is begging it. Well, did he ever know, will he ever know? The trees in the moonshine are dark ladders, so you catalog every angle you notice. In a vacuum you were charged to record this, so you won't make it easy on me. I can't go into this no more. It puts too many thorns on my mind, and the necessary balloon corpse on the floor. We've pissed on far too many sprites, and they're all standing up for the rights.
My BFF. Joe? 730.